Okay, what's up, guys? Had some technical difficulties, but we're back. So keep the party going tonight. What's up, guys? So we had some technical difficulties earlier, but we're back. We're at the crib, and we're just gonna hang out now and maybe talk about some travel stories. Yo, what's up, guys? So we had some technical difficulties, but we're back in action right now. So thanks for coming back. I drove back home. We have a drink, and now we're just chilling for the rest of the night. And I thought maybe once some more people come into the chat, I have some pretty good travel stories, so maybe I'll share a couple of them. So feel free to come hang out. Gonna be chilling for a little bit before I call it a night. You guys have anything interesting to say in the comments? Let me know how you're doing. We'll just go from there. We'll just chill out. So today we got a workout in earlier. We did some Ubering. We made a little bit of money today, and now we're doing a live stream. We got 23 people in the chat right now, so that's pretty good, guys. For whatever reason with these chats, it seems as if when you first start them, you get a ton of viewers. But since there's a lot of people, in the chat, I'll go ahead and get started and tell a travel story. So let's see what A Sen said. We were talking earlier. Bro, why do you think prenup defeats the purpose of marriage? It's about clearly and fairness. What are the obligations and how much? It's not about leaving ex-wife destitute. Yeah, I agree with you. I think if I were to get married, I'd probably consider getting a prenup, especially if I had a lot of assets. What I was saying is I just think it's just kind of sad that, society requires people to get prenups. But, it's just kind of like the nature of relationships. So, I wasn't trying to argue with you. I'm just, that's kind of just where I stand on that opinion. Elmajor, hello, how are you doing? Emma, thank you, I appreciate that. So anyways, guys, I wanted to share a travel story with you guys. I have a bunch of them, but for whatever reason, I was thinking of my brother earlier, and I had a story about him and I in Thailand and also Korea, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to share it because I have a travel channel. If you guys want some inspiration, I just made a video today about how a 22-year-old made a bunch of money living in Thailand. So if you guys want to support me, please check it out. Um, but yeah, anyways, guys, around 3 years ago, my brother and me, we went to Thailand together. And we flew there on Korean Airlines, and we stayed there for around 2 months. So it was a really nice trip. We used to live in Thailand, so we were seeing friends, hanging out, going to beaches, going to islands, having just a really one of the best times of our lives. It was really amazing. But anyways, the trip was about to be ended, and we had to leave at like 6 a.m. in the morning the next day. So we were in Bangkok, Thailand, and I stayed really close to the airport because I knew I had a really early flight. And my brother, he didn't really stay close to the airport because he went out to the bars to party at like the clubs, like literally like early in the morning before his 6 a.m. flight. So he sent it, I didn't. But anyways, we met up at the airport terminal, and he actually made it on time after like going all out partying with the boys. And I just walked over a couple short blocks to the hotel. Actually, it was a train stop, so I took a train to the hotel, and we were waiting to catch our Korean air flight back to America. And anyways, we're really tired. It's early in the morning. My brother was, he just got done partying and stuff. So, we were waiting to get on this plane. And then all of a sudden on our phone, we get this notification that our plane isn't going to take off for 13 hours. So it got delayed 13 hours, guys. So So we're like, oh, we're so tired. I hate the mornings. And we're just in like the worst mood ever. It's like we had to leave Thailand. We had to go back to America where it's boring and there's nothing to do. And we're just like in the worst mood ever. We're like, we had to like stay in this like airport on these like super uncomfortable metal chairs for 13 hours. And then after that, like it's literally like a 30-hour flight back to Chicago. And so it's just like the shittiest, situation. And then something like hit me in my head. I remembered that when I was walking out of my hotel room on like my hotel floor, I remember seeing this door that was like kind of cracked. And you guys can call me weird or whatever, but for whatever reason, like I didn't like do it on purpose, but I just instinctually kind of looked in the room because I'm like, why is there just like a door left open? And I like noticed that like nobody was in there. It was just like it looked like a fresh room. Like there's just like clean blankets and everything on the bed, and the door's just like wide open. So I remember that sitting in the airport, and that like idea, like I don't know if you guys know where I'm getting at, but that I'm really tired, and I go to my brother. I'm like, hey dude, do you want to sleep? And he's like, dude, like what are you talking about, man? I can't sleep in this metal chair. I'm like, no, bro. I'm like, I have another idea. And he's like, what? He's like, what, man? I'm like, dude, just come with me. We're gonna go back to my hotel. And he's like tired and everything. And so I'm like, just follow me, dude. And so we have like our suitcases. We have like big, like 25 kilogram suitcases and like backpacks on. And we go to like the train. It's called the Airport Link in Thailand. And the train like goes to the airport, and it can take you like into the city of Bangkok. So we get on the train with like our suitcases and everything. And like it's so crowded. If any of you guys have been to Asia, like the trains there, it's literally like there's literally people like touching your shoulders and your arms. They're like that close. And we have like our suitcases, and we get to like the train stop that my hotel was on, and like the train was literally so packed we like couldn't get out of the train. So I'm like trying not to push people, but I'm kind of like, excuse me, like kind of like going through. And we literally missed our train stop because of our suitcases and stuff. So we're like cussing at each other, like all mad. We're like, dude, this is like the worst decision ever. And so like we get off at like the next stop, and like we turn back around, and eventually we make it like to that hotel. And I take my brother up to like that area where I saw that room, and it's still sitting there. Like the room's still sitting there, like no one's in there. And so so I'm like, um, you know what? Like, let's go like take a nap in the bed. So we went in the hotel room and like started chilling, and we both like conked out. We like fell asleep. And then like 8 hours later, like someone knocks on the door, and I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just realized like that I'm in like this hotel room, like and everything. And there's like a Thai lady like standing there, like she's like standing there like looking at me like alai mi kab, like talking in Thai, like I like and I'm just like, you know, oh no, what's gonna happen now? Like, and they asked me, they're like, what are you doing in all of this? And and I'm just like, oh, this is my hotel. Like, I'm checking out now. And they're like, okay, you check out, you check out. And so like I left, and like there was no problem or anything like it. And then we like, you know, we just like dipped out of there. We were like a little tweaked out, but because I'm like, I don't want to cause a problem or anything. So so we went back to the airport and we made it on the plane and everything. And this super annoying guy like sat in between my brother and I, and he kept asking for like more beer. The guy drank like 10 beers on the flight, and there's like a little button on like the long airplanes that you press, and it just like sends the flight attendant. He pressed it like 10 times. It was crazy. He was kind of annoying, but eventually we made it to Seoul, Korea, and we get there, and our next plane got canceled. So we're like, oh my gosh, like this is literally gonna be like a 2 or 3 day like flight. So it got canceled, but the Korean Airlines, they like put my brother and I up in this hotel in Seoul, or in Icheon, Korea, and they put us up in like this five-star hotel. And literally, like, we woke up the next morning and they had like the nicest breakfast like I've ever had. Like there was fresh like salmon, like everything was like so like organic, like fresh food and everything. And it was like a buffet. So I just like munched down on that. And then we like eventually made it back to Chicago the next day, and my dad picked us up, and my dad's like, hey, like I'm gonna go to like your cousin's house in Chicago. I had to like watch him and stuff. And so I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm not tired for whatever reason. So I just went to with my dad, and we showed up at my cousin's crib, and his parents are like out of state. They're like in Tennessee. And we show up to like the crib in Chicago, and my cousin literally has like a party. Like there's like girls like walking out of the house. Like we go inside, and there's like people like smoking weed in like his bathroom, and we're just like, dude, what are you doing? And so that was just like a crazy story of like coming back to America. So that's my story for today's live stream. So yeah, guys, you know, my channel is about traveling. If you guys want to check out some of my videos, you know, you guys could probably see like traveling. When you travel a lot, it's so unpredictable. I grew up with like a dad who's basically been an expat my entire life. Like I never saw my dad for more than like 2 weeks at a time without him going to China or India or Europe or Brazil. So he was always on the road. But whenever I do get to see my dad, he has just like the most insane stories, like, you know, I've ever heard. Like, so, you know, traveling's it's pretty unpredictable. You know, I try to talk about that a little bit on my channel. As far as like, you know, when you go to foreign countries, of course it's all fun and new experiences, but you also have to like, you have to pay attention because things can change really, really quickly. And, you know, when you're not in your own country and something goes wrong, where, you know, I've been in countries where wars have broken out, where major protests have happened, where immigration policies have changed. You know, like I'm from America, where we have a bureaucracy that is held by law and order. So, America has good things and bad things, but I only knew America before I traveled, which is like, things just don't change easily in America because there's, legislative bureaucracy where people have to like pass bills and stuff. In other countries, doesn't necessarily work like that. Things can change literally in a day. Like they can literally just say, oh, we changed our mind. Foreigners aren't allowed to stay here for 30 days. They only get 15 days now. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I have to figure out how to like get out of the country so I'm not, illegally, violating the immigration policy. So I love traveling. I don't think I'll ever stop. I think it's just kind of like ingrained in me at this point. But yeah, that's kind of what my channel's about. Just, what life's like on the road. And, hopefully I want to provide some value. And as I'm learning more and more about finding ways of living nomadically, making money wherever you want in the world, making a lot of money wherever you want in the world. These are some of my goals for my channel. And, my goal is for the future to like provide you guys value to, pursue your dreams, whether they're, traveling to Milan, Italy, or Paris, France, or Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Or if you guys want to, do something extraordinary, like, start a business in America. My main motto of this YouTube channel is to, shoot for the stars. So yeah, guys, let me know in the chat, guys, where your favorite place to travel to is, or where you're from. But yeah, guys, one sec, guys. Gotta read something here. Let's see. Okay, Dr. B. Thai immigration policy pretty stable. Same for decades. Only sometimes they crack against visa runs. You know what? Yeah, so that's interesting. We can talk. That's another story that I don't know how much I want to go into it, actually. I should probably avoid a lot of that topic. But yeah, I've been going to Thailand for over 12 years. And you're right. The main thing that I've seen change with Thai immigration policy, at least for my country, I know you're living in the UAE now, and I know there's a lot of people that come to Thailand from the UAE, but as far as America goes, I know they changed our visa exemption from 30 days to 60 days. I believe that they're trying to go back down to 30 days. Another thing that's changed with Thailand is the TDAC, the Thailand Digital Arrival Card. Now you have to fill that out 24 to 48 hours before you land in Thailand. And yeah, visa runs. Visa runs used to be something, I guess I can talk about it a little bit on the channel. I've actually done a visa run to Cambodia, which was one of the most interesting experiences in my life. I thought I was going to be human trafficked to a Chinese Chinese cartel and be working in a call center somewhere in Myanmar or Cambodia. But it was one of the craziest experiences in my life. But needless to say, that visa run was probably not as exciting as I worked it up to be. It went quite smoothly. And it really, once you do things like visa runs, you truly you learn a lot about the government and what the government really is. So it's very eye-opening to kind of see how stuff like that works. But nowadays, of course, there's a war between Thailand and Cambodia, between the Trat borderline and some of the other border lines all the way up to Isan. So visa runs are no longer an option, and they've also, like you said, they've cracked down on visa runs. I don't even believe you can do them. I know some people were trying to do them to Laos. I don't think that's an option. From my friends in Thailand now who are American expats, they actually, believe it or not, I know some people that are still doing visa runs, but it's through air travel. So most people now are, I'm giving you guys some insight to the, and everything I say, by the way, this is not legal advice. This is not consultant advice. This is just a guy who's been around the block in Thailand. And I'm just telling you guys my experiences. So don't take it as a grain of salt. But for the friends that I know in Thailand right now from America, I know that they're still doing visa runs to Malaysia. They're going to Kuala Lumpur and flying back into Dam Wang or Suvarnabhumi. And it's been working for them. I don't know if I necessarily have the risk tolerance to be doing stuff like that anymore. You know, I know in Thailand they have things like, I'm sure Dr. B knows about, like the DTV visa or the elite visa, which are really good options. But the problem for most people with these visas are you have to be a high income earner. And really the main change of immigration policy I've seen in Thailand is Thailand has reached a level of prosperity where they can now target specific immigrants. So they want high earners. They don't want the backpackers who are going to go to Khao San Road or go sleep on the beach in Pattaya. They want the guys who, you know, come with large retirement funds or guys who have online businesses who are bringing capital into their country. So, you know, my suggestion for anyone who still wants to go to Southeast Asia and you know, live on nickels and dimes, my suggestion would be not to go to Thailand anymore because they've really changed it over there. It's not what it used to be. It's really not what it used to be, guys. So Cambodia would probably be a better option because, you know, with Cambodia, and the reason why I'm an advocate for Cambodia in many ways, I hear a lot of people talk bad about me on my YouTube videos where I try to bring some light to Cambodia, is that in Cambodia, you show up to the airport, you hand your passport over to the immigration officers, you hand them $25 US, actual US dollars, you bring money, and they put a 30-day visa in your passport. Then you can bring that passport back to immigration and you can get a 1-year visa for $300 US, and there's no games played at all. Whereas, you know, in Thailand, these processes are much more confusing and there's so many games being played. There's so many games being played in Thailand as far as the education visas and visa exemptions and tourist visas, and just Thailand is far more confusing. And for that matter, even Vietnam, if you're the type of person that wants to play the visa run game, go to Vietnam. They don't care. You can go to Ho Chi Minh City. Of course, with Vietnam, they have e-visas. You get 90 days on arrival. So you land there, you get 90 days. After those 90 days, you go do a visa run to Cambodia or Laos. You stay there for one night, and then you come back into the country of Vietnam for $35, and you got people doing this 4 times a year. So that's $140 a year to live in Vietnam legally. And people do this. I mean, so really when you think of, like, you know, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand, Thailand is by far has, you know, the hardest legislative immigration for foreigners to adapt to if they don't have money. If you have significant amounts of money, you know, then you could go to Thailand and you could get these things like multiple entry visas and elite visas, you know, where you get the red carpet service literally when you fly into Suvarnabhumi. So let's see what Dr. B says. DTV visa is pretty cheap though. Uh, only need 500K baht in the bank, and that's all. 5 years. Yeah, that's true. It's not too bad. My only question for you, Dr. B, maybe you can help me out with this. I'm not sure how much you know about the DTV, but I'm pretty sure there's a stipulation that says that you have to earn something like 70 or 100,000 baht a month to keep the DTV visa valid. So, once again, if you're the type of person that has, a few million baht in the bank, you have a pension, a retirement fund, or an online business that's bringing in some money, then, I think the DTV visa is definitely the way to go. And if you guys want to check out my recent video I posted about how a 22-year-old made it in Thailand and is now nearly a millionaire, he's on the DTV visa, and he, lives there. He's able to fly back to America and see his family and fly back to Thailand with no problems. And like Dr. B stated, it's like it's a 5-year visa. So that's a good option. So yeah, guys, let me know in the chat, guys, if any of you guys, if there's anywhere you guys would like to travel to. Okay, so I asked a visa agent. He said all we need is 500K baht in the bank. Okay. Let's look that up really quick, because if that's true, that's really not that bad. I mean, I'm trying to think. 500K is like 15,000 US dollars, so that's not that much money. But the thing is it kind of doesn't matter, because it really doesn't matter, because even if if you can't afford 2,000 USD a month, then you can't live in Thailand anyways, because you can't live anywhere really. Unless if you're going to Thailand and you're actually working in Thailand. But if that's the case, then you're probably on an employer's visa, and you probably have a work permit as well. So I'm going to take your word for it, Dr. B. I think you're probably right. Let's see here. Yeah, you're pretty much spot on. It looks like that. So it says allows 180 days per entry, extendable by another 180 days. So do you just you can keep getting extensions for 5 years? So whenever a half year's up, you gotta go get an extension. What? It only costs $275 to get a DTV visa? I should just try to get this. That's really, really cheap. That's pretty crazy. So Thailand's actually not a bad option, guys. If you have 15,000 US dollars, I think this might be the move. I didn't know it was that cheap. Let's see what else here. Proof of funds totaling 500,000 baht. You need a valid passport, financial proof, proof of employment. So it says here that you do need some sort of proof of employment. So for remote work, for soft power, so I guess an influencer. A letter of acceptance. So you kind of need some way of proving money, but a YouTube channel, I don't know, that might count for soft power. Who knows? Probably if you have more subscribers. If you have a couple thousand subscribers and you're making content about Thailand, that might be, acceptable. That's pretty cool. Let's see. I'm interested how much the elite visa cost and what it gets you. All right, the Thailand Elite Visa, officially the Thailand Privilege Card, that sounds so fancy, is a long-term renewable multiple entry visa offering 5 to 20 years of residency with prices starting from 650,000 Thai baht. That's a lot of money. That's like I'm trying to think, how much is that? It's like what, like 18,000 US dollars? It provides exclusive benefits like VIP airport service, 90-day reporting assistance, and no minimum stay requirements. While a work permit, it simplifies long-term stays without income, age, or insurance requirements. Huh. I think the other thing about the Elite Visa is I think you can invest in Thailand with it. So, let's see here. Cool, guys. Well, some things to think about here. See if there's any other visas. Yeah, also, with the visa exemption, you can also extend it for 30 days. So it's not that bad if you just want to go there for a vacation or something like that. But guys, I think I'm gonna end the live stream right now. I appreciate you guys participating and watching the videos. If you like my videos, please subscribe. Oh, we got one more message here by Dr. B. Visa agent said money hitting bank every month will be enough for employment proof. They just want to ensure you have source of income, not broke. Yep. Well, that sounds about right. That's pretty much what it sounded like to me. So that's really the way to go. So thank you for the information, Dr. B, about the DTV visa in Thailand. That was helpful. And thanks for watching, guys. And I'll make another live really soon. So catch you guys later.